prepare yourself, because together, let's uncover and rediscover the hidden practitioner within inside you. You are the power you seek.
Hey everybody, welcome to another doc demo, and today the doc demo will be neuropathy, okay? Feet and leg nerve pain. Okay, so we all know about nerve pain, but understand something. There's a lot of confusion to why we get nerve pain, why we even get pain at all with most people. But before we go any further, let's just make something really clear. Can we, if you don't already, make pain your friend? Because pain is your friend. It should be your friend. Now, you're thinking, what is he saying? Well, pain is a GPS. Without pain, you'd be dead already. You would have smoked too many cigarettes, drank too much alcohol. You would have not stopped eating because you wouldn't feel the pain from stopping to eat. Also, if you didn't have pain when you get really stressed out, okay, then guess what? You could blow your brain apart. You could blow your heart apart. You could blow yourself apart. So understand something. Pain is a GPS. Whether we are emotionally out of alignment or we are physically out of alignment, we are out of alignment. And understand something. Alignment. What is alignment? Well, alignment is when you are centered in yourself. Now, I didn't say that you were self-centered, so please do not get that wrong. And understand something. I just want to tell you something. And this is the God's truth. You know why you've been taught to not be self-centered? Oh, well, because you're supposed to look for your love outside. You're supposed to look for your healing outside yourself. You're supposed to look for everything outside yourself. Never, ever be centered in yourself, Daryl. Because if you do that, then we can't own you. We can't rule you. We can't school you. Let me tell you something. Well, you believe it or not, to have neuropathy, which is what? Basically, some people, it starts from the knee and it goes down to the toes. And the reality is, you don't have neuropathy if you own your body. Do you understand that, right? Okay? All right. Eating well is a sign of self-respect. Looking after your body is a sign of self-respect. And understand something. Would you say that you have self-respect for yourself? Would you say that the majority of the population has self-respect for themselves? You got to be kidding. Now, do they intentionally, are they out to attack themselves? No, we're all just programmed. I'm going to keep talking about this because this is about neuropathy. You wouldn't have neuropathy unless you were programmed to get it. Okay? So understand something. Disease means you are out of alignment with yourself on an emotional and physical level. But it's not ever any of those really. We say that so the general populace, the majority, will get it. But it's because you're not honoring your spirit. If you honored your spirit, okay, your vibration would be so high, no frequency of anything lower could live in you. And the spirit is a high frequency, wouldn't you say? So that means any microbe or bug or disease or symptom, you're not going to have that. And then the reality is guess what? You've been taught to ignore your symptoms. Oh, yeah, because you're a druggie. You're a druggie. Whether you get them on the street or you get them from the drugstore, you're a druggie. Because here's the deal. We have been taught to disrespect the greatest GPS on a physical level, and that's called pain. Pain is the greatest gift that you've been given. It tells you when you're out of alignment, tells you when you're not on track with your diet, with your emotions, with your exercise, or anything else. And understand something, whether you want to believe this or not, what the majority of the population does, I will never do. I want nothing. I don't want to do what they do. I don't want to eat what they eat. I don't want to drink what they drink. And I definitely don't want to think what they think. Because guess what? They don't think. They got somebody else doing their thinking. And if you knew that you were only in the present moment 2 to 5% of your day, you'd know why you got neuropathy or gout or arthritis or cancer or a sore throat or a headache. Because you're not here. You're over there. You're there. You're there. You know where you are? You're everywhere else and you're everyone else. Because if you were yourself, you would have total control of this vehicle. You'd have total control of your emotions. But no, you weren't given strategy for that. I know we're here for neuropathy. Let's get to it. So here's the deal. So the reality is you all know my work, but you got to check out my library. If you want to learn about emotion, if you want to learn about nutrition, and, check out The Perfect Day, If you don't, look at, you know what your main focus should be this year? I don't want to lose weight. I want to have a perfect day. And then I want to take that perfect day and I want to have it every day. If you had a perfect day today and you did it every day, oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing? I think it would be. Now, let's talk about neuropathy, because like I said, no matter what disease or illness you have, okay, chances are it's not your fault. Why isn't it your fault? Because you were taught by your mother and your father, and you were taught by the medical system that's not even in the business of health, okay? They're not in the business of teaching you about health. They're in the business of sickness, okay? Not all of them, not everyone, but foundationally it's going down. If it wasn't going down, why are we so sick? Why are we so sick? Why are people so sick? My God, people aren't even bigger than a virus that doesn't exist. Now that's sick. Those are sick thoughts. When a virus that doesn't really exist, that's not really doing what everybody says is doing, is killing everyone, then we know we're sick. We got sick beliefs. So let's talk about what beliefs do. Well, beliefs either, if they're good, they create good hormonal chemical things in the body. And if they're not good beliefs, then they're bad beliefs. And that means that you're going to be creating adrenaline, cortisol, histamine, and it's going to be dripping in you all the time. So how does somebody get neuropathy? Now, what is neuropathy? Well, you can have nerve pain in your leg from your knee down to the tip of your toes. You can have this dull ache all the time that doesn't allow you to sleep. You can also have neuropathy to the point that you can't walk properly. You walk like a statue because you don't have that flexibility anymore. Now, why is that? Well, here's the deal. You can't, neuropathy is not a nerve problem. But it is, isn't it? Yeah, because your nerves are being what? Spiked and choked. What does that mean, Daryl? Well, let's put it this way. If you've got an inflamed brain, and you know how you get an inflamed brain? Because you have too many negative thoughts, and because you don't realize that you're running programs to scare the living crap out of yourself all the time, so you're dumping the adrenaline and the cortisol into yourself. So when that happens, guess what you get? Well, you have to understand something. Just from regular metabolism, we'll have lactic and uric acid. But the problem is not the lactic and uric acid. It's when we get a lot of adrenaline and cortisol in there and we fry up our tissues. Okay, so let's look at this. We know that gravity plays a part in everything. So if you don't exercise, right? If you don't move it, you lose it. Or if you don't move it, you become cement. So the reality is your lymph need exercise. Everything needs exercise. You got to exercise every day. Now, we know that gravity plays on us. When we're younger, we have better circulation. As we get older, things may not work as well, but you know what? You also should have lived long enough to give up those bad habits, and also to realize that circulation, microcirculation, is the key to how long you live. And if you don't have good microcirculation, it's what you die from. So understand, how long you live and how long you live, okay, is going to be dependent on how good your microcirculation is. And you are going to, how soon you die and what you die of will depend on that part of the body, how bad the microcirculation is. Now, we know that lactic and uric acid, okay, so they're kind of sticky, right? So what happens if we've got gravity and we don't exercise a lot? And what's the main problem with circulation with everyone? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's called the waistline. So your waistline, okay, your waist would be the biggest joint in the body, wouldn't it? Now, what would happen, well, if the majority of the population, which is the truth, don't know what a good bowel movement is, okay? Some only go once every 2 days. Some will go once a day. Some will go twice a day, but then it'll be hard. It'll sink to the bottom, even crack the toilet bowl maybe. That's how hard it is. But the reality is I'll go 2 to 3 times every day. And you know what? I live on basically blender drinks and salads. I'm not saying that I never have any cooked food or anything else, but I mainly live on that. I really do. Today, all I've had is a salad so far, and it's 20 to 2. So it's 20 to 2, and I had a large salad. That's all I had. But I did do a lemon, honey, and cayenne drink. I did my calcium ion drink. I did fulvic acid water, but that's all. And I drank about a quart of hot water first thing in the morning, because why? To melt that crystallization. So here's the deal. So understand, if we were to totally monitor what we put in our mouth, okay, and say, will this feed me, or will this feed me nutrients and cleanse my body, or will this stagnate, putrefy, and rot within my body? And most of the food that we eat rots within our body for the majority of the population. So let that be known, okay? You can't have a disease if you respected your body. And I'm not saying that you're disrespecting it intentionally, but you are on an unconscious level, because everything runs from the subconscious, because we're only in the present moment 2 to 5% of the day consciously, mainly in the subconscious. So if you haven't taught yourself a new program of respecting your body, then you're disrespecting it, right? And take a look at how many people are out there disrespecting their bodies. So now, let's say the large intestine, it gets stagnant. Let me tell you something. If I don't eat right for just even 1 or 2 days, I can tell it slows up a little bit, because I look for perfect bowel movements. I mean, you know what? There's nothing more important on a physical level than to have 3 good bowel movements a day. End of story. And you'll know when you're having 3 good bowel movements, because you've got a good waistline, and you don't get bloated. How many people are bloated all the time? So how many people retain water all the time, even in their legs, in their feet? You know, they get up in the morning and they go to work, and the shoes fit. By the time they get home, they can't wait to get the shoes off, because you can just see it's like a glob coming over top of the shoes from the water retention in their feet or the swelling in their legs, okay? And this is all to bring down the fire. So understand, the lactic acid and the uric acid crystals, they're sticky. They start sticking your fibers together. So remember something. You got a lot of muscle in your lower leg, right? Okay? And also, remember something, what happens in the joints. In the joints, you get crystallization, you get displaced calcium, and that's why you hear that creaking and that crunchiness here. But the biggest problem is this. When you eat inflammatory foods and when you have inflammatory thoughts, you dump adrenaline and cortisol into your body. And that's like putting a burger on the barbecue and just letting it burn. And that's what people are doing. They're burning up their tissues. So that's where beef jerky comes from when I say beef jerky. If you take a look at a piece of beef jerky, it can be 1/8 of an inch, but it used to be an inch thick, but now it's only 1/8. And that's the same amount of fibers in that. And that's what's happening to the leg. The whole leg is becoming beef jerky because of the crystallization. Now, the crystallization is settling in the tissues, okay? The inflammation, okay, is burning up the tissues. So what it's doing is it's shrinking things. So it's not just thinning things, it's shrinking. So that means your tendons, your ligaments, and even your muscle tissue, the muscle that attaches to the knee, that goes all the way down to the ankle, it's getting shorter and it's getting thinner. And it's all about circulation. I already told you that, microcirculation. So understand something. Neuropathy is not a nerve problem. Neuropathy is more of a tissue problem, but it's the crystallization, the displaced calcium, and the scar tissue that is, okay, first of all, the scar tissue wraps itself around a nerve, and they'll even say, oh my gosh, the nerve is dead. We can't find it. We can't see it. Well, it's just covered with scar tissue, and it's covered with calcium. The nerve's not dead. And I'll tell you something. Anybody says that the nerve is dead, we got to operate on your back, okay, because you've got spinal stenosis, it's not true. Okay, I'll offer a money-back guarantee on it because people don't want to believe me because nobody talks like I do. All right? Nobody talks like I do. How many hundreds of thousands of body workers out there talk like I do? They don't talk about it. They don't talk. They don't understand. They don't understand that, let's say that this is a healthy tissue. Well, we know that the blood, the lymph, and the energy flow, which is true, there's energy in our body. That's why when you get a headache, you know what? And it's always like right here. Let's say it's here. That's because you've got a physical block here. The energy's trying to move, but it's blocked. So it's got to be scar tissue crystallization or displaced calcium. And if you can get that moved out, the energy moves. It's like a wave coming up and hitting a wall. That's, that causes chaos, right? Chaos. And that's what that headache is. That's what that arthritis is. That's what that cancer is. These physical blocks will not allow the invisible and the physical energy to move. Physical energy meaning blood and lymph. Invisible meaning your spirit. Right. Yeah. Spirit energy. That's what we are. Go figure, isn't it? Guess what? You can slow down spirit energy, can't you? You can slow down spirit energy with your attitude. Go ahead. Get depressed today. See how high-spirited you are. It's coming down. Okay? Go ahead. Don't eat right. Get crystallized. Get calcification deposits all throughout your body. Get beef jerky scar tissue there and find out how the energy's trying to move and all the disruption and the pain and the aching. Well, of course, you need to feel that, because if you didn't feel that, you wouldn't be thinking about looking after your body. You wouldn't be thinking about respecting your body. So understand something. The biggest problem out there right now is that on a subconscious level, we have been programmed to disrespect our bodies, ourselves, our families, our friends, and everyone. They continually do that. Tell me they don't. Tell me they don't. All the different religions, why can't there be peace? All the different nationalities, why can't there be peace? Why can't there be peace on this earth? Because they teach us to go to war with our own brothers and sisters. Enough of that one. Back to the story. So now what we got is we got crystallization, scar tissue formation, and displaced calcium. Because the more you dump adrenaline and cortisol into your body, the more you are going to make crystals. Do you understand that? And the more that you're going to actually fry what? Your tissues. That's right. You are a piece of meat, and every time that you emotionally stress yourself out or you eat inflammatory foods, it's like I'm going to throw this leg up on the barbecue, and I'm going to barbecue that sucker. And that's what you're doing internally. Okay? Let me tell you something. I've got people coming here that have this kind of problem. And what we do is I'm going to go through the things you could do at home. But the reality is we had a lady here, and she was about 82 years old. And she had 2 walkers, right? Not walkers, but 2 canes, right? Okay, so here's the deal. The first day that she got here, we spent about almost an hour on this leg, just from here down to the foot. And we did what's called Wolfe Non-Surgical. It's a technique I put together back when I was around 27 years old. The body work I learned, it was, far as I'm concerned, I was going to wreck myself, and it wasn't going anywhere. So if you're not removing calcification, if you're not pulling fibers apart so the blood flow, the lymph flow can come back, and because see, when I say that we get scar tissue built up in here, it doesn't matter. Everywhere in the body we get scar tissue built up. That's like, Grandpa, what's wrong with you? Oh, nothing. And he's walking like he's stiff as a board, and he can't feel anything because he's just all calcified and scar tissue all wrapped around, so he doesn't feel anything. He's numbed out. But then most people, they're numbed out up here, right? Yeah. So because they've been brainwashed to be numbed out. You got to do your own brainwashing, right? Okay. You got to become your own doctor, practitioner. You got to become your own everything. It's your life. So now, you got to understand that this scar tissue, the more the scar tissue builds up, the less the circulation. So the more pain you're going to have, because there's more disruption, because the energy, the invisible energy, the blood and the lymph want to flow still. So they're coming up against all kinds of things. And understand something, the less that you have circulation in here, the more pain you're going to have until it's totally numbed out. Now, so this lady, she's much older lady, and I'll tell you, so we spent 45 minutes, almost an hour on from the knee down to the foot, And so when we were done, she needed help to come down 3 stairs into here. When we got done, she actually walked up herself, and she does not have those 2 canes anymore. So that's just in one treatment. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to come to us, but understand this. And you got to get it, whether it's your shoulder, whether it's your spine, whether it's anywhere. We'll give you a money-back guarantee that in the first treatment, we will shock and awe you into amazement. Okay? And that's the whole deal. You got to understand something. The food that we've been told to eat poisons us. The therapy that we're told to get is watered down or toxic. Okay, so everything, the manual that they handed over to us is not great, is it? So anyways, it took us, well, the first treatment, she saw the big difference. And then by using the different energy medicine, and then also we got her to do skin brushing. Believe it or not, no matter where in the body that you have a problem, okay, with pain, okay, and with neuropathy, you want to get in and skin brush, okay, and you want to get in, we have skin brushes, and you want to get in there and really skin brush, and you want to go deep, really deep, and you want to skin brush. See how white it is? That's because from tanning. Anyways, but you want to skin brush until you're pink. The deal is, see the skin? Wow, it's like a dust storm. Okay, so you want to skin brush your whole body. I'll do that every 3 days because just time-wise, I can't do it much more than that. But I'll skin brush my body, and you want to skin brush to the point that you actually look pink, right? And you also want to do what we call salt glow. And you can see skin brushing in my Healthy to 100 book. If you go to my library, you can click on it and get it for free, the PDF. Go to the back chapter, Beautiful Skin. And it tells you how to skin brush. And you can see these skin brushes. They're natural skin brushes. And you can see them up on my website if you want to purchase one. But here's what you do. You skin brush first, okay, that area. And you do this every day. If you want your leg back, if you want any part of your body, you skin brush really thoroughly. Okay, then what do? Then you get Epsom salts. Okay, so what we do is we go to Costco, get a 10-pound container. We dump it into a big Tupperware dish container, right? So we put the 10 pounds in. So once we put the 10 pounds of Epsom salts in, we'll use a structure unit. You can just use regular water, but structured water is the way to go. That's nature's water. We'll use structured water. We'll wet the Epsom salts down to the consistency of beach sand. You know, wet, just kind of wet. Okay, so then what else am I going to do? Well, then what I do is I take what's called Muscle Restore, and I put tons of Muscle Restore in the essential oils, right? Are you ready? Okay. Then what do? Then I take 10%. So if I put 10 pounds of Epsom salts into a big container, which we do, then I'll take about 1 pound of coconut oil, and I'll mix that throughout, okay? So what you can do is, if you mix the coconut oil in, you don't have to, but if you mix the coconut oil in, what you're going to do is you're going to actually go in and you're going to scrub. You're going to grab the Epsom salts, and you're going to scrub as hard as you can, really scrub the area, okay, to really get the circulation going, because in Epsom salts, there's magnesium in the Epsom salts that's going to go in because you just skin brushed. So you caused all that hyperemia the blood to come to the surface, and then you're going to use the salt glow, and the magnesium is going to go in through the skin, okay? Magnesium, the relaxant healing mineral. Okay, now, you don't have to use the coconut oil. You can just use the Epsom salts, the water, and then put in the essential oils that you like. Essential oils are important because they increase the circulation and the nutrition to the skin. Now, here's the good one. If you have an area, I don't want you to do your whole body or anything, and you could try just where the pain is. Take Epsom salts, wet it down to the consistency of sand, put the Muscle Restore in. For every cup you have, put 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Mix that in. Don't do a huge area like the body, but you can do like, let's say I'm going to do, let's say this side of my leg, I'm having all kinds of pain. So I'm going to get in there and scrub really hard, and I've got the 1 teaspoon of cayenne mixed with the Epsom salts water and Muscle Restore. Got that? No coconut oil. Okay, no mixed in it. And then I'm going to go in and really scrub that. That cayenne is actually going to help the circulation, okay? Give that a try. So understand something, okay? Neuropathy is what? Displaced calcium, okay? You've been pulling the calcium from the bones that are in the area to try to buffer down what? The pH. Because when the pH gets too acidic, we can get all kinds of things. That's where the inflammation comes from, like neuritis or arthritis, the itis, right? Or even cancers. So the calcium And also, when any joint or muscle is inflamed, the calcium goes in to buffer that down, so there's to slow the destruction. Hopefully the host wakes up. So the calcium, and then we've got the scar tissue. And what is that from? That's from the inflammation of the adrenaline and the cortisol, right, coming into the body all the time. And that's because you haven't got control of your thoughts. Okay, you've got bad, toxic thoughts. And the other thing, because you can't keep running away from a paper tiger. There's nothing to run away from, guys. And the other thing is when you're eating inflammatory foods like dairy, like cow's milk, cheese and yogurt, that stuff is putrid garbage, okay? So just get rid of that. And sugar and flour products, rancid oils, okay, GMO products, anything that's new and improved, yeah, go figure. All right, so these are the things that we want to try to stay away from. Now, the next thing is, and this is what I'd be doing if it was me, right, is I would get myself a clapper, right? And if I had, okay, that problem in my leg, I would clap one leg, okay, for an hour. Now, if you want to learn about clapping, please go to my library, okay, and take a look at Clapping for Health. Watch the preparation video. It's 2 hours long. And then there's 2 more videos. One's called Clapping Your Heart and Lungs for Health, because this is a really important one. You can take a look at that. But the reality is I show how to do the whole body. But if you're going to clap for a problem in your leg, okay, all right, then what you're going to do is you can use your hands to start, and you can do the sides of your legs. Because understand, if you've got stump leg, I like to call it, all right, okay, if you've got stump leg where it's just painful and it's really low grade or high grade pain all the time, then you have to understand that you've got to do the knee. So you're going to do the knee first. So you're going to get in there and clap that knee, and you might clap that knee for 10 minutes as hard as you can. As hard as you can. And then you can clap also, you want to clap also, put your leg up on a stool or something, and clap the back like this. Because you know dang well that if you've got a neuralgia problem in here, okay, neuropathy, that your lymph system is jammed up in the back of your leg. So you got to get in there and clap it. And don't you worry about clapping that lymph system. Even you could have a Baker's cyst back there, and you want to clap the area and then eventually clap that Baker's cyst. Because it's all about being jammed up jelly tight. Okay, so we're going to start there. Okay, we want to do it at least 10 minutes, okay? If you can get a family member to help you, amazing. God loves them. Teamwork makes the dream work, okay? All right? And when we're going to be starting the masterclass, Sean, in the new year, aren't we? I think it's going to be near the 3rd week of January. We're going to start shooting body parts and showing you clapping, okay? And we're also going to be showing you what's called one-shot therapy. And we're going to tell you every body part and what I would do if I was you, if you wanted to take your life back, and what you can do at home for yourself, okay? So 10 minutes. Now, see how hard I went? Now, understand something. People that have been running from pain and who have a victim attitude, and they don't even know it because it's a subconscious program, are not going to like this, okay? Do you ever notice that? People that usually need it the most run away from it. Now, understand, if you don't want to get rid of the physical blocks in your body, then just know this, that your life is going to not be great, okay? Because the more that your joints freeze, the more that your muscles and tendons and ligaments shrink because they're becoming beef jerky, then you are an old person, okay? And I will never, ever be an old person. I will get older, but I will not be an old person. Let me tell you something. Well, you know, I'm going to be 65 years old, and you know what? It's very rare that I want to hang around with people that are 65 years old. Let's just put it that way, okay? And I'm not trying to be nasty here. I'm just trying to tell you that 65-year-old people for the majority of them, they're not a lot of fun to be with, to be honest with you. And you know what? And also, by the time we get to be 65, you're either already starting to get rid of your habits, starting to respect yourself, or you just go into total disrespect. Because now you're trying to kill the pain with the drugs and the alcohol and whatever else you can do to just try to get through one more day. Okay? But I don't care how bad off you are, you can turn around. And when they tell you, oh, sorry, there's nothing we can do, it's not true. It is true. That's all they can do, because they haven't embraced nature, and nature is infinite. Nature is infinite. Nature is the healer. And I'll tell you something, I harness nature. And our goal is for you to come to us and then stop coming for life. Our goal is for you not to be treated, but to be trained. So let's keep going and do this. So understand something. If you've got a really bad case of neuropathy, you're going to have to come and see us, or you're going to have to go and see one of my Wolfe Non-Surgical master therapists. And you're going to have to. And when you go, guess what? No matter where you go in the world, they're going to give you a money-back guarantee too, because that's the deal, because they know what they are. Okay? They're the best body workers out there, and we're going to prove it to you. So you're going to work on your knee first. You see how mine's red? And you know what? And you want to clap it. And here's the deal. You want to clap it, and if you want to get a clapper, you'll find them on my website. They're under equipment, okay? Anyways, and there's a bumpy side, and there's a smooth side. I always like the bumpy side. And then after you've done that, after you've done your clapping here, 10 minutes and 10 minutes minimum, I want you to do that, okay? All right? If you got children, get them to do it. They'll love clapping you, okay? And then what you're going to do is then start using your clapper. Now, what I would suggest is put something on the TV or watch a movie that you really like and then get connected to your breath. Make sure you're breathing and letting go. But understand, this is stinging, yeah, but guess what? You're going to do this side. You're going to do this side. You should try to spend on an area this big. You honestly should try to spend about, I'd say, no less than a half an hour to an hour and a half. You heard what I said? And if you start to go purple, then we know that you have a lot of contaminated tissue. Did you hear me? Contaminated tissue. And if the purple comes to the top, and people would call that a bruise, you didn't bruise yourself. You brought the bruise to the top. You ever hear people like, they don't bang into things, but they go, oh my God, I woke up, I have a bruise, I don't know where I got it, I didn't bang into anything. Well, the reality is guess what? They are a rotten piece of fruit. They need to bring their vibration up. They need to heal. Okay, their circulation is so bad, and they're so toxic, maybe emotionally, physically, or both. Got it? Okay. So if it's purple, we know we got bad circulation. If it goes dark purple, we know that it's pretty serious. And black, we know that there's tissue death in there that you can bring back alive. It's all about circulation. So understand, when you're doing the clapping, and you're going to work your way down, and I'll talk about the foot and the ankle and the foot in a minute. So when you're clapping, and if it goes black, okay, then you know you need work. You know that your your leg's dying. How's that? Is that cool? Your leg's dying? I can clap myself till the cows come home, and I will maybe get light purple somewhere because but last night, I'm going to tell you something. If you go to my website and you take a look at Clapping for Health in the library, you're going to see it says Clapping Your Heart and Lungs for Health. It's a video. And last night, I'm not making this up, I clapped 45 minutes here as hard as I could. And not one spot came up. I'll tell you, the first time I did this was a few years ago, and it was black and blue and bumpy and even a couple of black brown spots, and then my one of our therapists just did this 2 weeks ago, and they came in and showed me, and all he did was clap right here. Okay, this is the heart pericardium meridian, and guess what? It went black all the way down to his wrist. So how much emotional toxins and physical toxins was he holding in his heart? and lungs. And if you take a look at most people, the left side of their chest is higher than their right because the heart holds all your emotional love stories, right? And some of them aren't so good. So then you wall things off with scar tissue and calcium. And that's why a lot of people have heart problems. That's why a lot of people have lung problems. It's emotional first. I can't get my breath. Well, of course you can't. You're totally terrorized. Okay, let's get back to the leg. Okay, so anyway, so clap the whole leg thoroughly, and then come down and then use your clapper and clap the side of the ankle just above it. And then some of you are going to find that you've had some real problems right here in the front. And that's because there's a little hole right here where the ankle bends, okay? And that's where the crystallization will go. And when you go to put your leg up like this, guess what? It catches. So you want to get in there and really clean that up. Come over here, do about 10 minutes on this side. It's going to hurt when you first start, and you don't wear clothes. I just have my socks on, okay? And you don't wear any clothes on the area. And then you're going to clap here for about 10 minutes. Come over here, clap this side for about 5 minutes, and then clap the bottom for as long as you can, till you can make it feel like it's red and there's blood. There's blood supply. Understand, every part of your body should feel heated up, should feel like it's not on fire, but that there's this beautiful warm glow. When you start feeling the glow in here, you know you've clapped long enough and strong enough. So that's why the skin brushing. That's why the salt glow. That's why you're going to do the clapper, okay? So those are the things you can do, but I'll tell you right now, if you're crippled in any part of your body and you come to us and we can't make an amazing difference, then we won't charge you. That's it. And I'm telling you right now, because the world needs to know that the world can heal, and the world's been taught that it can't heal because we're that dumb, we're that stupid, and all these other people that have gone to school for 20 years, they can't figure out crap either, and you go home and you're still limping. And then what? Do you think that actually going from drug to drug and surgery to surgery and therapist to therapist is normal? That's abnormal, but it's normal on this planet because if you don't realize that we have been controlled since the beginning of time, and they're selling us off one piece at a time. And like I said in my one a day, if you go back and watch my one a day today on Facebook, what did I say? I said we're nothing more than cattle to them, and they're chopping a piece off every year off of us. You know, my father had 13 operations. My father and his mother, they actually had this idea that if you got a surgery every 1 or 2 years, you'd live forever. Go figure, okay? Understand something. Stop disrespecting yourself. Start respecting yourself. We've been given a vehicle for our spirit body, and we're not looking after it. Go take your clothes off. See if you like what you see in the mirror, okay? Go look in the mirror, and then take a look at the lines on your face. They should be showing that you smile a lot, not that you frown a lot, that you're depressed a lot. Understand something. You need to take massive personal action this year more than any other year that you've been alive, because they call it the harvest, okay? And they're not harvesting anything from me. Thank you very much. All right? Okay, let's talk about a couple things. First of all, if I tell you a product, don't think that this is a product show, okay? All right? You can go somewhere else if you want and get a comparable product or better. How's that? Go find a better one. So this one's called FiberClear, and it's a systemic enzyme. So we know that anybody that has nerve pain has scar tissue wrapped around the nerve, and they have crystallization in there. And then when they move, those crystals poke the nerve, and that's where you get your neuralgia, your neuritis, and things of that nature. So you want to do lots of FiberClear. I started doing lots of FiberClear. I've been doing like about 8 FiberClear, 4 to 5 times a day right now. I'm not telling you to do that, but that's what I'm doing, because I'm doing a real, it's like this. People always get sick in the new year, and they always put weight on. And me, I'm only gonna look better, feel better, because I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take my life back. All right, so FiberClear is a systemic enzyme, and people will ask me. I'll say, well, the least that you would do is like 3 times a day on an emptier stomach, because FiberClear, they're systemic enzymes. They go in and they eat up things that shouldn't be there. Like they eat up helping to soften up scar tissue. They help to get rid of trapped protein particles. They help to attack mutated cells. Okay, so they really help with circulation, inflammation, and pain. The other thing that really helps with that is, where are we here? Oh, yeah, curcumin cayenne 5000. So our curcumin, which if you know about turmeric, right? People talk about how they take turmeric. Well, turmeric has about 5% curcuminoids in it. Curcumin has 95% curcuminoids. It's all organic, and it's got 6% cayenne to trigger it. Instead of black pepper, we do that. And I'll tell you right now, this will reduce inflammation and pain in the body really fast. And understand something. Out of all the products around the world, curcumin cayenne, this curcumin cayenne product, is probably the one most taken from everything from inflammation to cancer. It's probably the one most taken. Now, we know that with having neuropathy or any other type of stiffness in the body or pain, we've got inflammation, right? So what do we get is, this is a world of contraction. Would you say that people are relaxed? Would you say that the population is an expansive population where they expand or they contract? Well, look at nowhere have I ever seen people contract more. I mean, God, if you're going to wear a mask, you call that not contraction? You're going to lock yourself down, you're going to call that not contraction? You're not going to do whatever you can to just live your life like a normal human being should do? Oh, this is the new normal. Well, they can bugger off. They can bugger off with their new normal, because I'm not buying into that crap. I don't even know how people even buy into this crap. It's so ridiculous. And you know what? If you're home crapping your pants right now, give your head a shake, okay? Give your head a shake, all right? And start looking at becoming a Braveheart warrior, okay? Not a victim. Anyways, I don't mean to go off, but the reality is the stuff that some of our great leaders are saying and these brilliant minds, are we like kidding? I mean, I haven't watched a show that stupid in years. Okay. All right. Anyways, Infusion. This is an amazing product, guys. It's not like every other magnesium, and it isn't. You take this and you take like 2 scoops, put it under your tongue or on your tongue. It'll heat up and it's a little bit metallic tasting. Guess what? How's this? I've got people that have taken this product and they say that they just feel, their body feels so open and relaxed. But not just that. People that haven't slept for years, forget days or months, and they'll put this in their mouth before they go to sleep, maybe about 20 minutes, half hour, and it'll just put them into such a peace. But the reality is, if you do like a couple scoops of this, maybe 4 or 5, or maybe even have to do it like 6, 7 times a day, if you're all jammed up and contracted. If you're all contracted here, you're all contracted here. If you're not expanding on a conscious level, then you're definitely not expanding on a physical level where you're bringing your health up higher. That's for sure. Anyways, this is an amazing product. You go do whatever magnesium you want. We know we're magnesium deficient, but understand something. When people are really stiff, it's not that they're magnesium deficient. It's all the displaced calcium that's been pulled from their bones from being on fire that's actually making them feel stiff. It's not because of the lack of magnesium. People have... I'll tell you something. There are so many health professionals out there that don't even know what they're talking about. They don't even know. And the reality is this. It's all logical stuff. Now, why don't they know? Well, because they've been trained to teach, to treat, and to do this. And the reality is everybody says, well, if you're stiff, then chances are you don't have enough magnesium. No, the magnesium's going to help. And yes, we are deficient in magnesium because we're so stressed out, because we're always firing in contraction. But the reality is it's the displaced calcium. You're going to tell me that people of 40, 50, and 60 years old don't have calcium problems today? Yeah, right. You know what? If you had balanced calcium, you wouldn't have cancer. Think about that one. Okay? But the reality is we don't have balanced calcium in our blood and in our tissues because we're always burning it up, because calcium is used to buffer the pH, but we're always on fire with our emotions and with our inflammatory diet that, most people eat, right? You really have to be on guard. That's why I'm like, I am. Weight volume, I'm 90 to 95% whole plant-based. That's it. Okay? Okay, now let's move on. So, Dmso Gel is really good for the joints, like around the knee or the ankle, or if you have an area that's totally numbed out, you might have to use the gel. But in most cases, when you're going on muscle tissue, like the lower leg, you would use the Dmso rose cream. And you can rub that right on. And then you can put your essential oils on as well. Okay? And then do a little test patch, though. Always do a little test patch on your body with anything you're going to put on. Not because it's toxic. Just see how sensitive you are to it. And you're better to use less than more. Don't just lather it on. Okay? So go, it's just use a little bit. See how it makes you feel. But Dmso is made from pine trees. It's a solvent, so it'll carry the essential oils in deeper, okay? And what it does is it increases the circulation, so you might feel a little bit itchy. So if it itches you a few minutes later, go get your skin brush and don't scratch with your nails. Try to do it with your skin brush, okay? And do it in a circular motion with your skin brush. Circulation always going upward, right? And you go in circles and go as deep as you'd like, right? Okay, that's that. Okay, and then like I said, what we do is we use pain away when it comes to neuropathy or nerve pain. We'll use pain away and also peppermint. Okay, Doc of Detox peppermint. The peppermint is a cooling effect and overrides the pain. Got to get your mind off the pain, Okay. Now the other thing is about the calcium. You can take a look at. It's called Cardigan. This is great for the joints, but if you've got a severe problem of displaced calcium, osteoporosis, osteopenia, osteoarthritis, or if you've got any type of autoimmune disease, we already know we're on fire, so you're pulling tons of calcium from the bones of your body. Cardigan is good, but it's only half the strength of what's called Merigen. And whether you believe this or not, you can totally reverse osteoporosis with this. Totally reverse it. Osteoarthritis, you can reverse it. You remember something. It's all about the calcium ions. There's lots of products out there. I had a guy call me today, and he said, well, there's a product online for $40, for $45, and it's called Ionic Calcium. And why would I buy yours? Yours is expensive, which it is, but it works. It's the only one that works. These are actually calcium ions. They're invisible. They're actually in this bottle. When you drink this, it actually turns on hundreds of thousands of chemical and hormonal things, that hormonal processes that leave by the time you're 30, 35. That's right. And so what it does, it brings back the natural making and breaking of bone. And wherever the calcium was pulled from in your bones, it puts it back. Yeah, go figure. You can be 90 years old and have perfect bone structure. And, well, let's put it this way. You can have the bone structure of a 30, 40-year-old that's healthy. Okay? And the other thing, like I always say, you know what? How could you ever fill up your legs? How could you fill your legs up with toxins where did that come from? A lot of it. Well, most people don't understand that your large intestine runs up and over, down and out like this. And guess what? Most of that garbage that's in your legs, okay, yeah, a lot of it's caused because you don't know how to balance your emotions. And every time somebody says something like the world's ending, you freak the hell out. And you got to stop that, because every time you do, it's so destructive. So destructive. Reaction is not great, guys. Action, proper action is. You got to learn how to connect to your breath and just calm it down. But understand something. The large intestine, if you want the neuropathy to go, you don't need to use this. But I tell everyone, do daily cleansing team morning and night for the rest of your life, and tell me it's not the best money you spent. Because the holy grail is your large intestine. And then also get tummy love, because a lot of people talk about how they take all this great bacteria. Well, they're all alien bacteria. Tummy love will restore mummy's bacteria. That's the only bacteria you really want. If you only have one of hers, you'd have trillions, okay, trillions within weeks with just looking at like my perfect day diet in the perfect day guide in the library, doing the daily cleansing tea, tummy love, but if you're just going to lay there and call different doctors and different practitioners about your neuropathy, good luck. So you're going to go see them as much as you can until you're broke. Okay, you're going to go see them, and getting treated is not the way to go. You need to get trained to be the master that turns that around. Okay, and understand something. If you're not going, you know what? I have a doctorate in acupuncture, and a lot of people will get acupuncture for neuropathy. Guess what? Good luck with that. You can't move the energy properly and balance the energy when you've got all this scar tissue and all this physical blockage in here. Okay? So you have to understand something. You've got to have more energy, right? You've got to create more energy than the block is blocking. Do you get what I mean? The bigger the block, the harder the block, the more energy you need to pull that block, to erase that block, to restore your circulation, to restore life. You can completely restore your legs. Some people, take a look at the people in your life that have illnesses, that have physical problems. They complain a lot, don't they? Some don't complain at all. They just believe that suffering is a part of life. Nope, Uncle John, no matter how much he suffers, he doesn't say a word. Well, that's not cool. Uncle John should be talking to people and finding out how to have a beautiful life. Then, don't ask her how she's doing. Don't dare do that. If you ask her how she's doing, she's going to go on for an hour about how life is so bad and how her pain is so bad, right? And then there's all these pills. And understand, were the pills actually for the neuropathy, or were the pills to help her numb herself out because it was actually her thoughts and her beliefs that caused the neuropathy? I don't know. What do you think? I'm going to end this one with something that is a little bit off, but not that really. But understand something. If you've got I'll tell you right now, all illnesses start, in the gut. And the gut is actually the large intestine. That's my belief. And if you look at my stuff, I've got a lot of information, a lot of study, a lot of research on this. And understand, if you protect your large intestine, and if you protect the health of your pelvis, for you women, that would be your fallopian tubes, your ovaries, your uterus, your bladder, and everything else that's in your pelvis. For men, prostate, bladder, and of course your penis, right? If you were to protect the circulation in there, because that's hormone central, you'd be protecting your whole body. Now, whether you want to believe this or not, hormones, oh my God, everybody's trying to do hormone this, hormone that. You know what? If you just came back into alignment and detoxified, and you knew what that was, and you knew how to do that, you wouldn't have to do anything for your hormones. That's right. Your hormones are out of whack because of the inflammation and the toxins in your body. Now, so here we go. This here is called a prostate massager, right? Or it's called a rectal massager, right? Now, it looks fairly big, but the reality is this does go in. This comes forward. This here is to do what? When this vibrates, this is actually vibrating your bladder, your prostate, your uterus, your fallopian tubes. It's vibrating also your large intestine, your small intestine, your whole pelvis. And understand something, whether you want to believe this or not, you're getting a hip replacement right now, or thinking about getting a hip replacement, because of all the poop particles you've been pooping into your pelvis. That overflowed, create inflammation, scar tissue formation in your hip. And you can actually reverse your hip problem without getting surgery. People just don't even know about this stuff. It's been so hidden. Just like how they took all Tesla's work. You know, Tesla invented so many things, and you know why he was so amazing? Because he used crystals. He would generate electricity through crystals, and it was the crystal energy that would heal people. It was the crystal energy that would create electricity. Yeah, that's right. I do a lot of work with different types of using crystals in my clinic as well. So anyways, back to this. So this would be facing forward. This goes in, and when this vibrates, you've got this vibrator controller. You can go to Amazon and buy this on Amazon in Canada or United States, Amazon.com. And if you want to find this one, you go to my Perfect Day Guide, and you'll find it right in there. Right in the Perfect Day Manual, it'll tell you where to find it. And it has a link where you can go and buy it. But what we do is this. We take this real serious. So if you've got any type of vaginal problems or erectile dysfunction or prostate inflammation, or you have any type of even cancers, understand something. Increasing the right circulation is what heals you. Now you're going, what's that got to do with neuropathy? Well, because guess what? It all starts here. This is command central. And by doing this is going to turn around faster. It's teamwork makes the dream work. So what we do is we use structured moringa oil, okay? And we'll also put, I get people that what to do, and they'll buy a 4-ounce bottle of structured moringa oil. They'll put frankincense in. So guess what? Just put a few drops in, shake it, put the structured moringa oil on here. But before you do that, we have finger cots that we sell to people, or you can get finger cots at a drugstore. And what you do is you put this vibrator up for 1 to 5 minutes. What kind of blood flow do you think is going to come to that area? You are going to gorge the whole pelvis with amazing amounts of blood, oxygen, nutrition to carry away things. Listen, I've got men, okay, that will come in here. Their prostate is so swollen they can't even walk. They're crying in pain. And when we do this, that just loosens up everything. Anyways, let me keep going. So now what you do is you take a finger cot. You can take structured moringa oil. We'd use that because it's thickness and it's got so much nutrition in it, more than any other oil. But use whatever you want, olive oil, coconut oil, and you go and you lubricate the anus. Then you lubricate this, like I said, with using this. We use structured moringa oil with a little bit of frankincense, and then that goes up in. You vibrate for 1 to 5 minutes, and even if you did nothing else, you really helped yourself. And then after that, what we get people to do is we tell them if they can take like a CBD suppository or a CBD THC suppository and put it up into the rectum, because a lot of people are into CBD and THC, but what they don't know is the place that absorbs it the best is just inside your anus. It goes throughout the whole body. And I could tell you stories here, but I'm not going to, because, people wouldn't believe me. But understand, you know what? People will say, I'll never do this. You'll never shove that up especially men, they won't do it, Women are more prone to have things come into them. Men are like, hey, man, that's not my jam. Well, then guess what? Then you just limp along, okay? Or you may not even limp along. You may never be able to get it up again. So the reality is, if you want to heal, you got to bring back circulation, and you got to get rid of blocks. And the only reason why something's broken in the body is you've got physical blocks. So get that. Physical blocks. And then guess what? You go and you do surgery and you get the physical blocks cut out, and even more blocks come from the surgery, because surgery causes more blocks than anything else. And I'm not telling you not to have surgery. I'm telling you, take massive personal action, and guess what? You won't need me and you won't need them unless you're in an emergency situation, because it's your body, it's your life, and you got to take it back. And that's it. And and just so you know, the year's almost over, but I'm still going to be opening up a place in Mexico, and I'm going to go over a couple things with everyone. This is the last time I'm coming on, except for my one-a-days, because I'm taking my family up to Big White and Thursday. So I'll do one-a-days up there, but that's about it. I'm just going to go over some things that are happening. But Friday I'm doing a show with Paul Hellyer. Okay, just so you know, and it's called The Economics of Hope. Get ready. Fasten your seatbelts on that one, guys, okay? And then that's at 3 o'clock. And then at Saturday, Health, Wealth, Predictions, and Cycles with Peter Temple. He's going to go back thousands, every 500 years, there's a switch, and it's a universal switch. And he actually teaches people how to make money and people about their health by these cycles, these universal cycles, these planetary cycles. And he's going to be going and he's going to be talking about health, wealth, and he's going to be making predictions for the next, as long as I'm around, he's going to be making predictions for the next probably 100 years. And let's see how well he does. And he's going to be talking about how all of this is cycles. And if you date back to even the Egyptian days, it's all a cycle. And guess what? Isn't everything a cycle? Isn't everything a program? Right. Okay. And that'll be on Saturday and Sunday because it's a two-parter. So you might want to try to watch it. And it will be up on, Facebook. It'll be on Doc of Detox Show, and it'll be on Telegram. And let me see. It won't be on Telegram until Monday, though, probably. Okay? Unless I can get somebody to move it over on the weekend. But it'll definitely be on Facebook and Doc of Detox Show. And then on Wednesday, guess what? Because this guy's going to sound like a nut job to you. So health and wealth and predictions and cycles. And then he'll be here Wednesday, and you can call in with your questions. Okay? You'll be able to call in. Or you can send your questions in on Facebook or on Intercom or on YouTube, and we'll answer all your questions. And that'll be on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. All right? And then, what do we got going on? Guess what? January the 13th, Del Bigtree, everybody know him from Highwire. He's going to Washington, D.C. He'll be there for the 6th for the whole Trump event. And then he's going to be filling us in and doing a New Year's exclusive with me at 3 o'clock, January 13th on Wednesday. Okay? And, hey, guys, please click, share this video. And let's also let people know about Telegram. Guys, we spend a lot of time with our Telegram. You download it. It's an app. You download it on your phone. Okay? And if you go there, I got the best information that if I even put any of this stuff on Facebook, they're shutting me down. So I go through a lot of information. I've got staff that actually do it, and they're picking out the stuff that Facebook, Instagram, YouTube won't let me post. It's all there on Telegram for you. Go to Doc of Detox, and that's where you're going to find that, okay? Let me check. Let me see here. And that's about it. And we also have... February, I can't give you the date because I haven't got the page with me, but March. March, we have our first 3-day whole life mind and body masterclass. It's 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll let you know the price, and that's coming up. And if you really want to get game on, I'm going to be doing it, and it's going to be inexpensive, everyone, because this is to get you into the door so you can do more. Okay, and then we have our next course is that we're doing is in May, and that's a full 21-day course. Also, I'm going to be in April. I'm going to be in Ecuador and Colombia, and then in June we are in Mexico. It's going down. We're doing a 21-day certification, so I'd love to see you there. And that's actually going to run for 33 days because after we do the whole course for 21 days, those people who want to stay longer will be able to stay longer and have more personal time with me. And we'll be talking more about building your business as a practitioner. And also we'll be talking more about specific, really chronic conditions and how to deal with them. So there it is. Happy Tuesday. And I don't know what to say, but this. Love yourself well. Respect your body. Are you respecting your body? You'll know if you respect your body. Because if you are respecting body, if you did a scan right now, you might feel a little twinge of pain somewhere, and that's just a little block. If you got a little block, I get it. But understand something. I want you to think about this. You know that thing that's been nagging and nobody's been able to fix it? It's going to put you in a nursing home. It's going to put you in the hospital, or it's going to take your life. And I make you a promise that if you go into my library and you go to my Perfect Day Guide, you go to the Clapping Guide, you go do the A to Z Masterclass, you go do how to become number 1 at the Art of number 2 Masterclass, it doesn't need to be this way. Do not sit on the couch. Do not worry. Do not fear, okay? Because help is here, and that help is you. You need to find your authentic self and rise up from the ashes here and become the hero of your story. This is not BS, so understand that. We do this every day for people that come from all over the world still. People still fly in. They come from all over. Not United States, because you guys are in lockdown, but understand, people are still coming into us, at least throughout Canada. We're as busy as ever, and we're going to always be busy. You know why? Because you ask yourself, does my practitioner give my power back? Does my practitioner want to treat me or train me? Does my practitioner understand that we are infinite light energy, electric beings, and that our potential is unlimited. God bless. Thanks for joining me, and have the best day of your life. And I really do mean that. And then tomorrow, you can see if you can outdo today. Okay? And that's the way it is, because you are unlimited. And the day that somebody says to you, sorry, go home, we can't help you, understand something. We can. We can help you, help yourself to find yourself and heal yourself. God bless.
You are the power you seek. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.